You're watching the Skateboarding Bros Show. Stories from the pioneers of skateboarding about the history and the fun of the sport we love. Hey guys, welcome back from the Florida Skateboard Hall of Fame in Tampa. It was awesome. It was just yesterday we were there, or it'll seem like that for you watching. This is our 59th episode, which would not be apparent if you looked at the quality of workmanship we're putting forth, but we think the content is important. And we welcome here tonight Tim Hubbard is the just was inducted into a Hall of Fame. We think a bit late, but we're glad to have him in.
And early by some, you know.
Oh, I mean, I think it's great, and when we get around to it, I want to catch the buzz that you have, right?
Sure.
You know, a couple of years ago, Bruce Mason went in, and he left. He had stuff to do. He had to go like 2-3 hour drive. So either way, he left right after the show, and we didn't really get a chance to sit around and talk, especially after the ceremony. So I want to kind of catch how you felt before and then after it, because I think it's something that is underestimated by some.
So, for people that are just tuning in, Tim was just inducted into the Florida Skateboarding Hall of Fame in 2020. Where are we? 2025.
25.
Right. So, yay!
I got some wheels for you, Phil.
What the hell's that?
Square.
I've got some of those.
Square wheels.
Oh.
Funny man. Funny.
Go ahead, Tim.
So, all right. So, let me see if I can do this. When did you start skating at Clearwater Skate Park, Tim?
Clearwater Skate Park was the third park to open up in Pinellas County, so it was in order. I went to Earth and Surfing as soon as they opened up, and that was the only park. And then Rolling Waves was the second park, so that was our new park, and it was a little closer to my house. And then when those two followed basically the same format of the layout, and then Clearwater opened up, which was the third one, and of course they were more advanced. It had a more advanced layout, and so we went over to that one.
Did you go over to Skate Grave?
You know, I'll tell you, I've been scared 2 times in my life walking into and seeing a skate park. Walking up that mountain at Skateway with loose ball bearings, you know. I couldn't believe the hill. And, you know, that was shaped as a bobsled chute, left and right, without a doubt, you know, because there was no example before that, you know. And so we skated there a couple times, but it was that's a farther drive, and we were kids. It was up to what my dad was going to do, you know, and the other neighborhood parents that were going to do. And so I went there, and then of course we went to Rainbow Waves nonstop.
Did you go any farther though? Did you get over to Daytona or Longwood? Because
my family grew up in Miami, so I got to go down there and skate those parks as they were developing, the Skateboard USA in Hollywood, and the Fort Lauderdale Park there, Solid Surf, and all of those, you know. And then I'll tell you real quick, the second time I was scared at a skateboard park was when I walked into Gainesville and saw those walls that he had built on a snake run that were 4 feet of straight vertical, and they turned it into the largest half pipe in the world. And we were still on, I'm pretty sure, 6-inch wide boards at the beginning of that, you know. And then it went to the 8-inch wide, the first widening, and that's when everybody really got good, you know. But yeah, those 2 parks I'll never forget. The first time I walked up Skate Wave and the first time I saw those walls at the basin, just in amazement, you know.
And look where the sport, hobby, whatever we're calling it, has gone since then. Every year it gets perfected.
That's what I like about what I got to do. I got to live through the beginning of skateboarding to where it is now, the beginning of punk rock to where it is now. You know, we got our own few things, you know. I got really a lucky time period. I just in love with this, you know. My 2 things that I really enjoy, along with photography. So
I think skateboarding was ahead of the music scene. Just the era it kind of created the punk and the metal and everything beyond that, because it
certainly
was all
contributed. Yeah,
it was the absolute perfect timing, because I was a little younger than you guys, and I'm looking up, and you're getting introduced to music, and you were introduced to the Eagles album 4 and Led Zeppelin album 3, and all these things, and it was your older brother's music, and everybody, skateboarding was a new thing, and everybody was dogging on it, and then all of a sudden, punk rock Devo came out with skateboard equipment on one night, and the whole world every skateboarder in the world turned into a punk rocker overnight. And we had our own new music, and we had our own, not a sport, our own thing, and our own culture and our own way of life, and since the very beginning of skateboarding, it was if you're a skateboarder, you're part of this thing, period, because you enjoy it as much as I enjoy it. So it doesn't matter who you are. It's all about the thing we got,
Yeah, it's
fall
interesting.
down, get up.
That's the way I felt my whole life on that thing,
The really cool part is we went from listening to Yes and Genesis at the skate park
overnight,
to like Sex Pistols and Buzzcocks overnight.
In one weekend.
Exactly.
One weekend.
Yeah.
One weekend. As fast as you could
what?
get the tapes. Were we listening to tapes or albums?
Oh, the albums. It was Cat Scratch Fever and Boston.
Ted Nugent at the park. You guys had those the cassette
cars.
tape player.
Hey, while you look for that, Tim, let's see if I can't show something here. If I can get to my wonderful abilities. Let's see this.
So
Hold on there, Phil.
I can't control myself. Sorry, just too excited.
All right, you found an old site. I went to a park the other day. I'm just.
Hold on, I don't want you guys to. I picked this out of this little thing we did together.
Oh, and I love to see people that are anybody on it. So I went to a park the other day. I'm just there watching my kids skate. There's a new father and son, and dad's encouraging the son to get on this new skateboard. He's got his helmet on and stuff, but he's standing with both feet right next to each other, facing forward. Right. And he's trying to figure it out. And I had to help the guy. It's a sideways sport. But I can't watch this board go out from underneath you. If you fall on your head, it's not happening. And I had to, convince him a couple times to really make him understand it's a sideways thing. And once he was sideways, he could skateboard. But you just can't help. You gotta, that's the skateboarding vibe. You gotta just, the most experienced is always helping the least experienced. The oldest might be helping the youngest, or that youngest might be telling old pops where the line is. Truth.
So there, are we back?
Well stated.
Yeah.
Very well stated. Yes.
Well,
it still goes on. My granddaughter, my granddaughter and grandson still go to the skate park. Grandson probably skates still more, but out there trying to drop in. Grandpa wasn't around to help him, and he came home and he was like, "I learned to drop in."
What?
This girl at the park was, seeing me, and she came over and she showed me underneath. She let me use her board. Just excited as hell. Random person just seeing something just came over and just made this kid's day.
You have 12 to, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't get mad at her because he didn't let you be the one. It's like watching him walk the first time.
That's a young man's game, going to the skate park on a Friday night. So homeboy don't do that no more.
See, that's funny. The Friday night at Clearwater Skateboard Park, they booked a band for 4 weeks in a row. And everybody go there that first Friday night, and we listened to them. Everybody went there the next Friday night, and they played the same set. So we all kind of caught on to it. It was Ted Nugent and whatever, right? It's a rock band. And then the next time they played the same set on the third night. And then that Devo thing happened that Saturday night. And when we get back the next Friday night, everybody was over that band, and it was done. It was over, man. We were already discovering the B-52s or whoever else was out at the time, the cars and everything. It was a huge shift.
Friday night, the whole parking lot across the fence, full of big yellow vans and whatnot. Had some good fun there. So let's see if I can.
Music has the power to do that. All of a sudden, it just shifts. Boom.
Right.
That's my rhythm. That's my energy. Boom, 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 boom. You know,
So
like
it was,
disco to punk or whatever. You know, it was fabulous.
It was pretty cool when the parking lot would get full and there was the overflow parking that was off to the side by the half and the field by the half pipe. And then some crazy stuff went on in that field out there.
So you were the older guys with all the vans, and that's what every kid wanted, a damn van, because we saw the Alva van and the other ones running around.
Tim, how old were you in when Clear was? 78, 79, 77, whatever.
I was like 14, 15, 16, 17 by the time it closed. We were just like 3 years younger than you guys, but when, we're 15 and you guys are 17 and 18, you have driver's license. We're still getting carted around,
That's a huge difference.
Gigantic.
15 to 18-year-olds, those are two different sets of people. And you had it was.
We knew all your guys' stories because we heard you, and we were the little Groms, we were little kids, but we weren't little. We weren't Jimmy Marcus and Tony, Samotis little. We were right above them, but right below the Georges and the Dave Adamses and stuff. Honestly, when I got in the team,
not gonna lie, we're complete dicks, but
we're all you were, but there was another guy in yellow that was.
Hello. Yeah, but I got out of there.
No, not you. I'm talking about other team.
That's okay. We all every sinner's got a past, or what is it? Every sinner's got a future. Every saint's has got a past. So,
Ed, what are we looking at here?
Well, we're looking at a slightly distorted. I think it's a Tim Hubbard self-portrait.
I took it, but it's Jerry Lucas.
Okay.
It was for
great shot.
It was an art show we did I called it Downhill Run, and we had it at 688 Skateboard Park, and I invited like 20 different artists to set up for the night, and we had a big party there and stuff. So
I think I came to this.
You might have. I was there. It was at 688 with Jay.
No, it's a huge wreck right out front.
Yes. Exactly.
Skateboarding evolved into a whole art world unto itself, and a lot of people don't realize it, but I think it opened up a lot of thought for artists to explore, and this is a great example of that.
I want to know where my car keys are, but I know there was a huge wreck in front of a random art show that I went to at a skate park. What was this? 2006?
Oh, I don't know. I have to look back on something. It was the other day.
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks back.
But yes, there was a huge wreck on the second one we did. We did a couple of them down there. But the second one had a huge, delayed a lot of the people and stuff. So that's true. So you probably were at that one. So it was like, 20 different artists that I just, all friends and everything. We just put together our own show. They let us do whatever we wanted there. So
there was a lot of that. A lot of that back in the day.
Right.
Let you do what you want to do.
Right. Well, that's, you think about it, that's what skateboarders been doing since the beginning of time, because, how many, we got to build our own ramps and we weren't carpenters.
Yep.
We figured it out. That's what I love about.
That's a great point, Tim, because as you're maneuvering, all of a sudden you're going, this geometry could be better. Or this curve could be, this surface could be better. There was like all these things could be better, and this is what we got. And that the evolution just exploded with this could be better.
It got better every day. When I was putting my last half pipe together, after I learned how to do the walls first and then do the spines, because it was still true half pipes at that second in time. We were pushing the two pieces together, and another magazine came out, and it was the first time I saw flat bottom in a half pipe. You know, it was the first time. So I pulled my ramp apart another 3 feet because it was in between 2 orange trees, so I could only do a little. But we tried. We made it a little bit wider, longer. You know, and that's the way it was every day. You know, another kid came from another town and talked about something, and you got that idea, and you tried that.
There was no internet to talk. I mean, it was slow.
And not only that, I've learned this, which goes back to this whole getting nominated thing and all the shit you think about for the last 6 months and stuff. But when we did everything, right, there was absolutely nothing in front of us to tell us what to do. Right? There was nothing. It was open, but it was blank. Every ramp we built, we started at a triangle and then figured out how to curve the plywood, you know. But there was no example in front of us. It was empty, right? So it was one little piece at a time. Now look at a kid jumping on a skateboard that's technology out of the skateboard alone glues to your feet, and go skate a perfect cement bowl. Only because of all of our pain.
So it's only taken 50 years. But
right.
Hey.
But the fun part is that there is a park in Albuquerque, actually outside Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's not Los Alamos. No, anyway.
Los Altos.
It has a Los Altos is the old one, but it has a full pipe. And then that full pipe, and then the full pipe transitions to a half pipe for about another 50 feet. And so you get to skate a true half pipe.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious. And it's so much fun. They're like, we used to skate this. Are you fucking kidding me? And you can go up and do tricks. It's like you go up and do a rock and roll, and then you're already starting your next trick before you get to as you're going down one wall, you're already starting your next trick. There's no flat bottom. There's no thinking. It's like trick, 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 out.
Right. Somebody's basement, some little mini ramp in somebody's basement. It's like bing, 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 bing.
You know, but the flat bottom was a big deal.
It was a half pipe because it was purely a half of a pipe, you know. That's how because we didn't think of a flat bottom yet, you know.
There was
nothing there.
Cambodia ramp. Who was the first? It was Miami that got that first flat bottom ramp, wasn't it?
That's the one that I saw in a magazine first, was the Miami ramp, you know. And that's right when we were putting my last one together.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put Brad Bowman
year-round.
They put Brad Bowman on the cover on that ramp.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I still have that. I got most of my issues.
A Florida trick on a Florida ramp. Thanks, BB.
Right.
Love you, man.
Right. They weren't ready for the Florida guys yet.
Doing a front side ollie. But the good part is he did it with steez, as always.
You know, and then they didn't put Alan do it. They put Alan doing an ollie in a California park. So
that is irony.
Right.
Oh my.
Oh.
Who's that skinny looking fucker?
Tim, what part of this park was your favorite area?
Everybody just skated the half pipe, you know. It was pretty much, you wanted to do a trick, you went over to that freestyle area on that little steep wall and tried it for a little while, and you went back in the half pipe and tried it, you know.
Before or after the extension was added?
Well, we were in all of it. I was in all stages of it, yeah.
I liked learning tricks in the snake run leading up to the half pipe. It was a little bit steeper and the lip was a little bit sharper.
Yeah.
But yeah, the progression was freestyle area to mogul run, and then you go to the into the half pipe area, or into the snake run area. And there's a good little there's some good solid lips in there, and you could get some speed up and give it a whirl.
And you know, a few little hidden humps and bumps and dips and you know, that's the difference between, you know, nobody knew how to build a skate park.
No.
They cement that way. And so we'd have those little dips and hips and things, you know, but you go into a park now And just imagine stepping on a brand new board now, being 12 years old, into a perfectly smooth park and learning how to skateboard from starting there compared to where we started. I saw your pictures of Moss Brothers going down that hill on them rickety boards and things.
It must be great for early skaters now to find new flow and new lines, because there's a never-ending line, and you can just keep having a great time and stretching out and doing stuff. So.
Maintain the speed, right?
Yeah, right.
So I take old gear and I bring it over. A buddy of mine's got a DIY scene at his house, and I had a couple of old boards that I brought over and said, "Hey, take a look at this. Here's a 10-inch wide pig with Indy 215s. Why don't you try riding that?"
Right.
Tell me how it works. I had I want to say I had a Chuck Dinkins, one of his 12-inch wide boards, but or not Chuck Dinkins, Deck Crafters, Chuck Holtz. Sorry, Dinkins. But
it'd be all right.
But I brought those over. I brought a couple of them over and said, "Here you go, guys." Oh, and it had
flat
single conical wheels. So Sims the wheel, single conicals on Indy 215s. Like, yeah, try riding this, guys. And they were like, "Whoa, kind of trippy."
So, and that was advanced, you know.
That was the shit at one time. And you know,
Tim, you're 14 years old when this first time you went to Clearwater.
Somewhere right there, yeah. Oh, yeah. It had to be driven there.
Did you ever run into Ray Diaz? Was he showing up there? Is he the same age as you at that time?
He was about 2 years younger than me, but he already had a mustache. But he was a Rolling Waves guy, you know. So,
yeah.
But during contests, and then when we were over at Rolling Waves, you know, everybody knows everybody in the scene at one point or another. You know, we knew. You know, my age group was Brent Rademacher, Todd Webb, just slightly below Pat Parker's age group, and above Mike Cosia's age group.
I just find it exciting about age groups, because I'm working with Sarasota skateboarders now, and the 12-year-old, the 14-year-old, the 18-year-old, the 26-year-old. It's just amazing how they learn new stuff and follow along, and it becomes family. Because, like I learned at Spot recently at the Hall of Fame thing, the word family kept coming up, and it's like once you get into all this, you're part of that family. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up.
Wait. Are you accusing me of being part of Ray Diaz's family? Because I just need to know now.
A man has limits.
Yes.
So Tim, you're 14 years old in 1977 when this opened up?
In 81, I was 17, so somewhere around there, you know, give or take.
Okay, so you got, so what were you riding when you came to Clearwater Skate Park? Do you remember?
So
that board right there that I'm on was a homemade shop board with Mid-Tracks and Kryptonics 70s, I believe.
70s.
Yeah, I think those. I don't think the smaller ones were out, but that was one. It was a flat, and I made a little kicktail on it. But anyway, what do you think? What do you recall? What you were riding? I mean, look at the safety gear there. You got the Norcons. You got.
Well, it was still on. Definitely, I was still on Hobie knee pads. Hobie, you know, volleyball knee pads.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we were still on 6-inch boards. So I do know one of the second boards I was riding there was a Sims taper kick, which was still 6 inches to 7 inches wide.
Gorgeous.
You know, the sickest thing I did, you have regrets. But at the time, rails weren't a thing, and then rails became a thing. And 2 or 3 boards later, I went back and grabbed that taper kick and cut it into rails.
Oh!
Yeah, I know. I still feel bad for that.
That is harsh.
And you know when that was? That was right before Paul Smith came out with his first set of rails that were made out of that white.
Did you ever ride?
I've got one of the first dozen sets of Smith sticks. I still have it.
Did you ever ride on? Ever ride on fish sticks though?
Those were just more wooden. Those were more wooden sticks that he made in shop class or something. But that is the reason I made Hubbard board something. But that's the reason I cut up my Sims taper kick.
Because fish wouldn't give you some. He made them out of Baltic birch.
Oh yeah.
Because he had his own wood shop, so he made them out of Baltic birch. But yeah, anytime you did a slide and rolled on them, they'd break.
Oh really? Well, the taper kick wasn't breaking, believe me. I put them on the first board I had. I don't know what board it was, but yeah, I went through a lot of boards. But I tell you what, I didn't go through near as many boards as George McClellan and Steve Fisher did. Because every week I showed up for practice in the team meeting, those guys were riding a different stick. But they had jobs and were I'm sure they were just a Ford. But I mean, it was really weird, freakish, that they had a different board almost every single time I saw them. Well, I thought that's what you did when you were 18 or something.
Sponsorship was pretty cool.
If you're 18 and you're sponsored, then you go through a lot of decks. If you're 18 and you're in college, and you have to use it for transportation and skating, it lasts you a year and a half.
You go through one.
Yes.
Now, this brings me to the issue I'm working on now is this idea that when you're young and you can't access a new board very easily, that costs money. And the Boards for Bros organization,
I love that.
handing out boards and stuff. And I think we're talking in Sarasota to have like one of these little library booths where you just throw some blanks in there, some trucks. Hey, build your own board. Don't, hey, it's there, and because it's hard. It's expensive. It's not an expensive sport, but it is expensive when you're 12, 13, 14 years old. So, yeah.
I love that. And that's, the Boards for Bros whole thing is just amazing. Giving back, and it's you better find something to give back, right? Some way, somehow.
You're coming up on 20 years, is that right, Ed?
We are enjoying our 20th year now.
That's just amazing.
The next year we celebrate that fact that we made it to 20.
Nice.
Yeah,
amazing.
Trying to fix my phone so it doesn't die on me here.
Okay.
Only we had a technician here. Only we had a photography guy here.
I know. If only somebody know how to take pictures with it. So honestly,
I was wondering about the photography, Tim, because you got into the heavy metal photography world. Does it feel like the rebels of the skateboarding in the 70s? The heavy metal's a rebel kind of musical genre. Did you connect the two together as you're shooting pictures?
When I told a quick story there at the Hall of Fame, and when first time I went to Earth and Surfing, we went for a demo to see Mike Weed and Steve Shipp, and it was the first day at a skateboard park, and I was already obsessed. But I mean, our own skateboard park was amazing, and I was already interested in photography, and I had a little 110 camera. But when I was standing there on the sidelines taking pictures of Mike Weed, the other guy out on the concrete was a professional photographer. And I took a half a roll, and then I took one picture of Mike. And by the second I took that picture, I knew I was going to be a professional photographer and a professional skateboarder the rest of my life. Right there, that very second. I still have the picture, And so I've always chased those things, skateboarding.
I remember that tour.
Yeah.
And they also went over to West Shore Plaza in Tampa.
Really?
And I saw them there. I didn't know they went to Earth and Surfing, but yeah, same timeline. And it was pretty trippy. You see that, and I'm like, I'm doing all the same tricks. What the fuck? This isn't really impressive. And so I got on my board and I was on the sidelines doing some of the same things. And they're like, what? Spacewalks were a thing. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The nose wheelies and one-footed nose wheelies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that tour. And I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, I think, the guys from Florida can hang here. This is what a touring pro is. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, I remember that tour.
Yeah, 76-ish, I think. I believe that's when Earth and Surfing opened.
I had
take a couple days.
I had a Weber Camber Flex that had the nose was sloped down. It was a extruded fiberglass with a kicktail. The nose was sloped down a little bit, and it was perfect for doing nose wheelies. It was so great.
Nice.
So, but anyway, I digress. So we think we know that you are wearing Hobie knee pads. Do you recall what?
Wait.
So taper cut.
This is not Tim. This is a different Tim.
That's Tim Mott.
Yeah.
That's at that's at Clearwater Park. So
that's the mogul run. That's the mogul run.
That's a great shot, though. What a great shot!
And I stretched it a little bit, as we do. Can I give it that movement? I wanted it to take your eye at the big impending doom that mogul is.
What are the captions going through his brain right now?
It's right around here is the plateau. This is the mesa. He's going to get a chest plant on that. Drag his chin across the whole top.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. We'll have to ask him when he gets on later.
Oh, well, this is what happens when he does. He might come on a little later, but, when you're not here to defend yourself. Plus, we were talking about Clearwater Skate Park, and it was a challenge for all.
They all were, but that was why we were there, right?
Yeah.
They were a challenge. That's why all these people are still going there, right? We're stuck in this thing that we have.
It's awesome, is what it is.
It is. It's an amazing thing.
When I look at, sorry, let me go back to where we were at.
We want something new.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff. So I sent a folder of a bunch of pictures I've taken of Clearwater Skate Park, and then I also have a bunch of pictures I didn't take that other people have been flowing to me. So there's just a whole folder there.
You want to do that? You want to scroll the folder? We can do that.
Do anything you want.
All
so
right.
I took some of these, and some of these I've just stolen from people. Or they've sent them to me. So
if they can if they see them, tell them to send us their names, because we don't want to do copyright issues.
No, these were all free to do whatever.
Cool.
Most of them are mine anyway, so that's me.
So you on the plexiglass there, looks like you're riding a flight deck. Did you ever ride flight?
Yeah, I went through a lot of boards too, and all the progressions. Hobie rockers. My first real board was the first real board that I didn't make in shop class or something it wasn't a roller derby. It was a GNS Fiberflex before kicktails, the flat boards, and that's what I really learned on.
With the rubber grip tape.
Yes.
Ed, what the fuck you doing? Put the picture up there. So, Tim, you took a shop class and you made skateboards in the class?
Sure, everybody did in wood class.
Yeah.
You had to make something, so everybody made a skateboarder too.
Well, that's like Paul Schmidt's Create a Skate campaign. That's
I love
wonderful.
that. I love what he did. I have some really good journalistic pictures of that whole skate thing. I've had out published once, but I'll give it. So blah blah blah, a whole bunch of different things. But one thing I'm doing. Years back, me and my brother started this Art Gone Bad website, which is just bad art, no words, And at one point, I decided to throw my old skateboard pictures up from the 70s, and it was all our parks and stuff. And that just took over the site and got tons of comments and hits. So I said, send me your pictures too. So in the long run, I ended up with 19 skateboard parks from the 70s in Florida with my pictures and everybody else's pictures that donated it to me. And they kept donating me pictures. So eventually I never got time to go back to that site. And it's been over 15 years since I've updated. But what we're going to do is I'm going to rebuild something, or we're talking with Tim Mott with a lot of space, and we're going to move all this stuff over to another site. And it's going to be all 70s and all Florida. And it's going to be all unprofessional pictures, the pictures everybody has in their photo albums of anything. And I want anybody to be able to upload and download off of this thing. So I'm just trying to get the whole collection to archive it for everybody. Yeah. And everybody grab them pictures out of their grandmother's photo albums of your brother taking a fuzzy picture, an off-crop picture, unprofessional pictures of unprofessional skateboarders, and archive this whole timeline. And so today or yesterday or the day before, I sent one big folder of a lot of stuff. I have Clearwater Skateboard Park. So there's one. So Ed has that right now. But I do have a lot more pictures that I'm going to fill all these files up with and just get them out there so we can archive our scene while we're here.
Well, I'd suggest everybody write a little bit of a blip about on the title, because if it just says image 2250, who cares?
But well, these do right now because it's such a massive amount of things. But we'll archive us the proper way, and we'll give everybody's credits and names and all this stuff.
Whole artificial intelligence thing, if it gets on some website, all of a sudden it becomes part of a bigger world, and that's really wonderful.
You know how many pictures are in Sensation Basin that you've never seen that are in people's houses
12
and stuff? There's lots of stuff, you know. So I have a pretty big folder myself of it. So I'm going to share all this stuff with everybody that I have in skateboarding. All my images, I'm just putting them out there for other people to just have and take and archive and keep. So that's my little thing. I can try to get back to this sport because that's what I have.
You're calling it a sport? What the hell's the matter with you?
Well, that was a mistake. That was a slip of tongue. It's not.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a sickness.
It's a sickness. I like that a lot.
Yeah, sickness.
It was funny, years ago, I had a girlfriend. She goes, "You're obsessed with skateboarding." I'm like, "No, Mickey, I'm just a skateboarder." We're not obsessed. It's just what we do.
That's it.
If skateboarding is changing the whole lifestyle of urban design, you got to compensate. The urban designers have to compensate for a new transportation system, and some cities are doing that. And it's not just bike lanes or a wheel lane. A wheel lane. The skateboard is part of a wheel lane, and it's amazing. I mean, geez, it's exciting.
Plus, you got to build. You got to make sure you design your building so Pedro Barros can drop in on it.
Unbelievable, unbelievable!
He's a lunatic. That was a walk in the park.
Cover yourself, George, because this is nobody's. People going to watch this 10 years from now. What's the backstory on that?
Hey, it's a giant building in Brazil, and it's the world's largest quarter pipe. It's like, what was it?
Big.
I don't know. It was big.
40 stories or something like that. I mean, insane.
Dropping in.
But, Red Bull, he's sponsored by Red Bull. Red Bull has all the entertainment budgets you want.
Right. Those people, 100 years from now, Red Bull was an energy drink that just took over extreme sports and supported a lot of people. It was fabulous. It still is.
Yep. It gave us a lot of money. I loved all the stuff they've done for the sport.
So let's all sell our Apple stock tomorrow. I just did the new update and it deleted my Dropbox app, so I don't have everything I downloaded from Tim. That's what that frantic couple of minutes was for. It was we're
having a technological moment.
No, not having much luck at all. And
Tim, do you want to share? Do you want to share, Tim?
What do you want me to share?
I can go through my PowerPoint. I can finish mine while you dig it up, Tim.
How do you want him? It's on my laptop. I'm on my phone. So
there's a tough-looking bunch of skaters.
Yeah, there's the original team that I was part of.
How old are you here?
This was only about 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
20 years ago, bud.
Come on.
I was sober.
It was 20 years ago.
I was sober.
This is the opening of Dunedin Skateboard Park.
Oh, I was there.
And it's a plaque. Yeah. It's Tony Simodis' plaque.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Mayor Bob Hackworth helped put that together. I was a good buddy of his.
Nice.
Blah blah blah.
I missed those shoes.
The shoes.
Those shoes. I was wearing this. Those are pink Vans. They're Rowleys though. They were freaking great. I love that shoe. They don't make them anymore.
Through this while Tim, are you hunting your laptop?
What do you need me to do? You want me to resend you that link?
Does Marcus have a bloody mouth in this picture? That's all I want to know.
Oh, I don't. That's not one of my originals, so I don't know. I just found that yesterday, the day before.
It's awesome. I don't know who half of these folks are.
They were just more people at the opening, and they're all old. So
old people.
Old people.
You hired people to be stand-ins for the big picture.
There you go.
There weren't enough skateboarders at the time.
Look at Hubbard in the 3 feet of vert there, killing it.
Hey, that's a classic piece of history right there. Putting up that little extension on there. That was one of the first ones in the country, I think.
Did you notice how every cement park was built within 2 years? They had to add something to it because skaters invented new things.
Yeah.
Right?
None of the
everybody thinks, oh, my idea is the best ever. It'll never be boom. A week later, your idea sucks.
It's already. You know, it's funny because George was taller and bigger and older, and so when him and Fisher came over to skate my ramp before Jim Goodrich was going to come over. And that's when I noticed my ramp isn't that big anymore because these guys were taller. So they were almost too big for my ramp, you know.
I remember going there. We brought McGill over there one time.
Right. That's when Jim Goodrich came over. They brought Mike McGill over for that skateboard session. So
now Tim, you're in what, high school, junior high at this point?
High school. Yep.
High school. And all this skateboarding stuff is flowing through your brain, and the school's going their usual routine. Are they saying, how can you apply what you're interested in skateboarding to your academic world? Or were you an outcast rebel and your mind wasn't there, or was it there?
Yes, I was a skateboarder. So we were all outcasts, right? Skateboarder, photographer. I was already a photographer. I was already working. So those two things were just going to be what I've done forever. So
I think that's where schools miss the point, because look at all these pictures. Like, there's geometry, there's woodwork, there's fabric, there's style, all this stuff, and they don't relate to what you're interested in. They're just doing
it's a general thing.
I was thinking about shoe goo and Band-Aids.
Shoe
like
goo.
That.
Yeah, buddy. Replacing a pair of shoes every week because we were still sliding on those skinny boards. There's Mark Lake.
Mark.
Tony Samotis.
Yeah.
This is
Mark
incredible.
Mark Lake with a classic flyaway helmet. He wore that for years.
Yeah. See, he was in town practicing before a contest, so he might have been there a week or two beforehand.
That was a hike for him, coming over from Melbourne.
Yeah, he was always a penultimate. He was always a pro. He was always a pro about what he was doing, his way, and he'd sit with these kids. He didn't know who they were, you know.
Yeah, and he's still riding, right?
Yeah, he's doing the same thing.
Still riding good.
There's the Astaire Air.
So there it is. That's one of my favorites.
Astaire Air.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
I took that one.
So that's a Kryptonics foam core, I believe.
Yeah.
With gull wings and CX66 wheels. God, that thing weighed a ton.
What's a knee pad? Look like Rector.
Rector knee pads.
Everything was Rector, right? That year, everything was Rector.
Yeah, that was when I was riding for Kryptonics, and that's the blue suede Nikes.
No, that's the Clearwater Pro.
Blue suede Nikes. That's Bear from the back and shooting from the other angle. You remember Bear from New Jersey?
Oh yeah,
Skates East guy.
Skates East. Yeah.
Mad Rat shorts. How about that? Bang biscuit.
It's funny how some of the characters, like Bear, he showed up. I only met him twice, maybe, but he just made such an impression on me, and just he was dedicated. He wanted to be there, and blah 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 blah. And as young people, things happen like that, and you just dive into it and have fun.
Yep.
Or just get high and go skate.
Well, I may have gotten blasted with Bear a few times. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, Tim, we gotta hurry up. I think he's gonna be on. I think he's coming on. So that was about the end. Tim, did you find some stuff for us to look at?
You can't get that folder back? How You want me to reshare that folder?
No, I can't get it on this machine. Wait a minute.
Tim, tell me about Rolling Waves. How often were you able to get there? Because that was a unique design. And
it was pretty similar to Earth and Surfing layout.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit.
It started
different.
out that way. Yeah.
Right. And so our whole neighborhood was little skateboarders at the time. So, and the mothers were mostly home. So we always had a ride to the park, and since that turned into closer than the other ones, we got to spend a lot of the summers there, the whole summer thing.
You're watching the Skateboarding Bros Show. Stories from the pioneers of skateboarding about the history and the fun of the sport we love.